remember the exact smell of a warm CRT? The static hum when you flip the switch on your Nintendo Entertainment System? The way the Super Mario Bros. 3 title screen seemed to shout that a whole universe lived inside that gray little rectangle? Maybe your origin story starts later, blowing up convenient drop ships in the original Halo, dragging Ethernet cables down a dorm hallway or down the stairs so 16 Spartans could wage pixelated war until sunrise. Fast forward to today, and ray-traced reflections, orchestras instead of chip tunes, entire continents rendered down to each blade of grass, and yet a lot of us scroll the modern store pages, shrug, and say nothing looks fun. Why? Tonight on The Casual, we're gonna understand and explore whether games really changed or whether we did. First, we need to wind the clock back to 1988. For some of you, that might seem like a really long time ago, but Capcom had just released Mega Man 2, and it was being shipped out on NES cartridges that topped out at a mere 256 kilobits, about 1/32nd of a single JPEG on your phone today. That ruthless constraint forced designer Akira to strip away every ounce of bloat until only the purest expression of run-and-gun platforming remained. Jump, shoot, memorize, repeat. The track Dr. Willie's Castle still hits a dopamine button in gamers' brains because every note had to justify its place. In 1993, ID Software's Doom fits an entire 3D engine on 4 floppy disks. Because texture memory was microscopic, artists picked a single dominant color palette per level, so they plastered Mars-based corridors in a sickly green, hell in a pulsing red. Those palettes made each zone instantly recognizable, and they linger in our memories like childhood bedrooms. Today, an open-world blockbuster like Starfield ships out anywhere from 100 gigabytes to 200 gigabytes of high-resolution textures alone. Choices is no longer scarce, it's unlimited. That abundance is incredible, but it also means a single art director can't personally shepherd every asset. Cohesion gets harder, and the unforgettable bits blur into a beige soup of photorealism. Frankly, old games left space for imagination. In Pokemon Red and Blue, the Lavender Town ghost stories weren't rendered in cutscenes, they lived in 15 lines of dialogue and a slightly detuned 8-bit melody. That made your spine tingle. Gamers filled in the horror, swapped urban legends on playgrounds, and built a collective mythos. The original Final Fantasy VII showed you Midgard's slums through fixed pre-rendered backgrounds. Your brain stitched those still images into a breathing city because it had to. Compare that to Cyberpunk 2077's Night City, which is gorgeous. It is sprawling, but it is spoon-fed. NPCs explain every side quest over the phone. Lore sits in tidy collectible shards. The mystery remains, yes, but it's curated and codified. Some of the thrill of figuring it out together naturally fades when wiki pages update faster than you can finish the prologue. Picture 4 friends hunched over a single 27-inch CRT in 1997, arguing about whether Odd Job is banned in GoldenEye 007 multiplayer. There's pizza grease on the controller, a near-empty 2-liter of Surge on the carpet, and the loser physically elbows the winner because they're sharing the same oxygen. That memory sticks because it engaged every sense and emotion. Or maybe it's 2016, and you're playing Minecraft in your best friend's bedroom with 3 of your best friends on the face of the planet for an entire weekend straight. Or you're a little kid, and it's the weekend, and you get to spend that weekend with your cousin playing the brand new game that just came out. It's Call of Duty season, baby, and we're ready to go. Online multiplayer is absolutely miraculous. You can squad up with someone 6 time zones away, but anonymity dilutes accountability. Voice chat toxicity corrodes goodwill, and latency shaves milliseconds off that tactical feedback loop. Even Halo 2's revolutionary Xbox Live lobbies in 2004 retained a lobby countdown, forcing smack talk in real time. Modern titles like Call of Duty Warzone funnel players through instant matchmaking, and if the vibe sours, you can bail, requeue, and forget the last round ever happened. Less stickiness, less shared lore. The 1998 release schedule listed maybe a dozen system seller titles. You begged your parents for 1 cartridge at Christmas, squeezed every secret out of Ocarina of Time, and then replayed it over and over again with random stipulations just to stretch the value. Today, Game Pass drops 20 games a month. Steam turns out 30 a day. Mobile app stores add hundreds. And analysis paralysis sets in, and nothing gets the runway to marinate in culture the way that GTA 3 or World of Warcraft did. It's not that games are shallower, our buffet palettes are overflowing. Bungie shipped Halo 3 in 2007, the experience loop was fairly self-contained. Finish the campaign, maybe go chase a couple skulls, and then hop into Slayer with everybody else. Years later, Destiny 2 arrived as a living platform. You had festivals, seasons, artifact power, there was transmogrification, which is great for long-term immersion, but exhausting for completionists. Fortnite's chapter rotation employs fear of missing out, or FOMO, as rocket fuel. If you skip a week, you return to an item shop that feels like a stranger's closet, whereas the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater lets you 100% the warehouse level and call it a night. Modern design does definitely sometimes swap closure for retention metrics. You know, once upon a time, developers had to guess where players would die. They overtuned a boss like the Battletoads Turbo Tunnel and just hoped for the best. Now with Unity analytics and property telemetry, they can pinpoint exactly where 87% of players are going to quit. That is absolutely incredible for usability, but it incentivizes sanding off difficulty spikes that might have made unforgettable stories for gamers like us. You can ask anyone who beat Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts. It is absolutely unfair and will drive you insane, but it is iconic when you finally beat him. A/B testing might have nerfed that fight into mediocrity. Okay, so you're probably sitting there, casual, what's the twist? Maybe it's the fact that the void isn't in the software. It's in us. Psychology tells us novelty releases a surge of dopamine. The first time you swung across Hyrule Fields on Epona, and yes, that's how I've always pronounced it, your brain filed that as groundbreaking. So by the time that Red Dead Redemption 2 trots out hyper-realistic horse physics, you've seen open worlds for 20 years, so our neural reward circuits don't habituate any type of response. It takes exceptionally more spectacle to hit the same peaks. Life context matters a lot too. When Chrono Trigger dropped, many of us were kids with summer break. A 40-hour JRPG felt like an invitation. In adulthood, between commutes, family, and side hustles, the same time investment feels oppressive. It's not that RPGs just got worse, our calendars got tighter. Finally, nostalgia itself rewrites our memories. Cognitive science calls it the remnants bump. We encode adolescence with extra clarity. Studies show music you loved at 15 hits harder forever. Games follow suit. You can't bottle the feeling of coming home from middle school, tearing the plastic off Pokemon Silver, and seeing a color screen on a Game Boy for the first time. No studio can code that hormonal cocktail. Here's the evidence that the industry still fires on all cylinders. Firm Software drops Elden Ring in 2022, a 100-plus hour open world that channels the mystery of early Zelda, the punishing satisfaction of Dark Souls, and the communal secret sharing of pre-internet days. Millions felt that old spark again. Hades distills roguelike loops into 10-minute sugar highs while delivering a stronger narrative than many AAA epics. Stardew Valley captures Harvest Moon farm life cohesions and upgrades it with modern accessibility. It's not impossible to move us, it just takes bold vision, tight feedback loops, and a respect of players' time. If you're chasing that lost feeling, here are 4 experimental patches for your gamer soul. 1. Deliberate scarcity. Pick one game, just one, for the next month. Delete side quests if the story drags, and give yourself room to really sink in. 2. Recreate local chaos. Haul a second monitor onto the kitchen table, call your friends, bust out Mortal Kombat 11, and accept that trash talk is a love language. Then there's 3. Mod the classics, and this is not me advocating for anything that is illegal. Do it at your own risks. Thank you, FBI. Ocarina of Time randomizer twists nostalgia into fresh surprise, and Doom wads like Ancient Aliens push 1993 tech into avant-grade art. And then there's 4. Unlearning ominence. Forbid yourself from Googling. Let the map stay foggy. Let mechanics remain cryptic. That self-imposed ignorance mimics the playground rumor we all miss. Games did grow up, but so did we. Neither state is inherently better, just different. The sooner we accept that our teenage sense of wonder was a limited time buff, the sooner we can appreciate today's masterpieces on their own merits. Drop your most cherished childhood gaming moment, then name a modern title that secretly gave you the same goosebumps. Like, subscribe, and true to our name, the casual will keep coming back. Patch after patch, era after era.